What's going on, Jab Jab Talk Nation? It's your boy Ozil. Welcome to the Jab Jab Talk Nation boxing YouTube channel. Got a few new subscribers joining the community, so thank you so much for checking out the channel. As always, got to do the shameless plug. If you dig the content, want to support an indie boxing enthusiast that loves to share his love, the jab about boxing, with you and the rest of the Jab Jab Talk community nation, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, and let's get connected, y'all. All right, so let me go ahead and talk about last night's fight between Benavidez and Morrell. Wow, I've been wanting to record this video because I got a lot to say. First and foremost, what a great night of boxing. I saw a little bit of the Ramos fight. It was super entertaining towards the end. And then, of course, we got to see Isaac Cruz, man, and Fioro. Excuse me, what a fight. I mean, that is the epitome of Mexican-style boxing. Entertaining. I think everybody thought that Isaac Cruz was going to go ahead and just wipe down Fioro. Looked that way in the beginning. Fioro came back and made it a really entertaining fight, man. They both went at it. It was a really great fight. Yeah, when two Mexican, fighters get in the ring, we all know that it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be super entertaining. So we got that last night. Then we saw Brandon Figueroa, who I've never been a big fan of, against Stephen Fulton. Not the most exciting fight. To the credit of Fulton did a fantastic job outboxing him. And then we got to see Figueroa, who was just very one-dimensional, wasn't putting in the output. I don't know. It was a bit lackluster fight. Again, it wasn't Fulton's fault. It was just Figueroa didn't make anything to switch it up or make the fight interesting. Frankly, he was very one-dimensional, no game plan, went in there and barely threw punches. Super boring fight, but it was all good because the main event was super entertaining. Wow, what can I say? So much to say. I will say this. Respect to Morrell, David Morrell, for, not having a lot of really elite fights in his resume. I believe he has 11 fights, right? Wins. To go up against David Benavidez on a big stage and, and make it, make it, there were some moments where there was competitive. Well, David Morrell was, he made it competitive. He landed some pretty good punches against the Mexican monster. And, he was in there. He did not fold. He was not afraid. He was there to mix it up. And, I have to give it up for David Morrell. I thought he did a pretty good job, given the fact that he hasn't had an extensive resume like David Benavidez. David Benavidez, there's levels to this. I felt like he showed once again that he is a great fighter, has great boxing abilities. Even when Morrell was landing some shots, they were pretty much hitting his gloves. He has a pretty underrated defense. Now, can he get better, David Benavidez? Yes. I think he can tighten up a little bit. I feel like he got hit with some shots that he shouldn't gotten hit with. And there was times where when he came in and there was a lot of off balance, which is the reason why in the 11th round, Morrell scored that quick knockdown. So there's some things that David Benavidez has to work on, but he showed David Benavidez, the pressure, the jab, y'all. The jab is not like a very traditional jab, but he'll just throw it out there and he'll boom in his own way, and he lands it, and it's a sharp jab. And then the thing that really impressed me about David Benavidez in this fight was his ability to land body shots. I think that was a key takeaway here. His body shots look like some really good, like old school, like, lighter weight type of, like, Julio Cesar Chavez to the liver type of shots. He was landing some nice body shots. And he just really made it very challenging for David Morrell to kind of get around. He had David Benavidez at the full arsenal, last night. So I thought, all in all, I thought that was a really great fight, entertaining fight. It was exactly how I expected. David Benavidez, we know that he could fight, and he can throw some punches. David Morrell showed and proved that he belongs to be up there. I don't know if he's, I would like to see him against bigger opponents, and I feel like he will work himself up against bigger fights. He does have the skill set. There's a few things that, you know, I think David Benavidez said in a post conference that he's not as big of a puncher than he thought. But I will say this, I don't think David Benavidez, it's harder for him to kind of knock out and really beat down people. I mean, he beats them down, but it's not like whenever he was at 168. I don't think David has the punching power that he had at 168. So when he fights like big fights against Bivol and Benavidez, I think it's going to be challenging. That it's going to be the next level. So I felt like he fought a good, young, athletic, boxing, in your face, not unafraid to fight you in Morrell, and did really, really well at this weight class. His second fight at 175, but the big but is, can he do that against a Benavidez and Bivol? So I'm excited. I feel like those fights, it's going to be exciting. Whoever he fights, if I had to pick between the two, I would like to see him against Benavidez. I think he has a better chance against Benavidez, although Benavidez he has a great chin and hits really, really hard. In the way, kind of whenever Benavidez got connected with some shots by Morrell, I just like, ooh, if it was some big shots coming in from Benavidez or maybe Bivol, I think it'll be a different story. Now with Bivol, I think because of his boxing abilities and he likes to kind of get in and out, I think it'll make it very, very challenging because he's big, because he can punch. Will make it really challenging for Benavidez. But I digress. I think at the end of the day, I think Benavidez proved once again that he's a very, very entertaining fighter, well-deserved. He won convincingly in my scorecard. I felt like he beat Morrell. Has some moments, but I think all in all, if you looked at the full rounds, I mean, I felt like David Benavidez unanimously, just wiped him out. I don't think they were talking about rematch, no rematch, no rematch needed. I think maybe in a few years from now, but I think Benavidez will be in a different level. So yeah, I mean, those were kind of my takeaways on the fight. Really entertaining fight. Yeah, just Benavidez is just on a whole different level, y'all, right? Like he's just on a whole different level, and he looked really, really, really good. So I believe he's on the waiting list for the winner between Benavidez and Benavidez, excuse me, and Bivol. He's gonna take that fight, and 175 is about to get real. It's about to get really, really interesting, And whoever he fights is gonna be another mega fight. So, yeah, curious to know your thoughts. What did you think about the fight? What were some takeaways? I think to do a recap, with Benavidez, just his body punching was amazing. His output was amazing. His conditioning, I was a little worried that he was going to punch himself out. And that might have been the strategy of Morrell going into the later rounds. He looked very, very tired, especially after he got that flash knockdown. And then, you know, we saw that after the bell shot, that kind of shook him up a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, you know, it was a both entertaining fight. They both came to fight. And so shout out to David Morrell for putting up a good fight. And David Benavidez, I mean, look, I mean, he showed that a healthy David Benavidez at 175 is going to be a problem for anybody. So he's a superstar. I think he's definitely catapulted himself into a superstar. And depending on wherever he decides to go, hypothetically, let's say he beats the winner of Benavidez or Bivol, whoever it is, I think we could see Canelo, if all goes well with his next fight, we could see a mega fight between the two at 175 for all belts. That could be a really, really interesting fight. So anyhow, y'all, that's my take on the last night's fight, Benavidez and Morrell. Morrell go back to training. He's going to work on some few things. I think he's going to a lot to learn from this, although he did take a beating yesterday, but he'll have a lot to learn from this, make some adjustments, and be back at it again. So that's my take, y'all, of last night's fight. Thanks again for checking it out, the YouTube channel, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.